I'm Chance with We Sell Broken Bow. Appreciate you tuning in. All right. Happy New Year, y'all. Happy New Year. We are here at the Hochatown Casino and Resort. Getting on the Harley. Gonna go ahead and run down to the boat ramps or the boat docks. See some friends real quick. Wish them Happy New Year. And head on up to the Talamina Scenic Byway over to Mina and show y'all some of the most beautiful part of the country up here. So y'all come along.
Let's go!
So today is January 1st, 2026. Most beautiful day of the year so far. Definitely a beautiful day out. Beautiful day, beautiful day. Seen some beautiful women, not gonna lie. Just had a really good sandwich, turkey and bacon sandwich at the Mercantile next to Tuklo.
Nice.
Tuklo Grill in the Choctaw Casino and Resort. Always good. Here's our buddy Yeti Spaghetti pulling out of his shop. Woo! All right. So after I stop at the boats and holler at some friends, from that point up through or to Mina, I probably have a good 45 minutes with y'all. I'm gonna show y'all some awesome views, some awesome freaking views that really a lot of folks that come to Broken Bow don't get to see, because the majority of folks that come to Broken Bow come from the south, come north or northeast or however you want to look at it, and don't go any further north past Broken Bow, past Hochatown. So a lot of folks don't see these views, and it's just another 30-40 minutes north of Broken Bow. So that's what I want to show y'all today on the video. We're passing the saloon here, so of course we're in the center of Hochatown here today, passing Old Hochatown Road. Today is, I should know, I want to say it's like a Wednesday?
What?
Man, I don't know. I keep so busy. And most days I could tell you what day it is, but man, this past week or two has been wild. It's a little bit quieter out than I would have thought for New Year's, but I'm sure there's a lot of folks just kind of hanging and chilling at their cabins and getting ready to ease back home and get back into the grind of the new year. So I'm Chance. This is We Sell Broken Bow. Appreciate y'all tuning in. This is a channel where we're going to share with you insights, updates, things to do, what's happening up here in Broken Bow and Hochatown from my perspective as a real estate agent up here, specializing and specifically selling these Broken Bow and Hochatown vacation cabins. So that's what I do for a living. I do a few other things for fun.
Yeah, boy.
Here and there. But what I do for a living and for work up here is representing buyers and representing sellers on these vacation cabins in Broken Bow and Hochatown. So here we are passing a Bendigo's. And we're going to turn right down Stevens Gap and see what is see what's crack-a-lackin' down at the boat ramps. So this POV drive around is going to be one format of our video series throughout this next year that seems to work for me, and I think works for y'all. It's pretty fun and convenient for me to be able to have a camera on my face here, so I'm not always having to, have the camera phone in my hand while I'm driving the truck or, that sort of thing. So I hope this is a fun and a cool and effective way to show y'all things around here in Broken Bow and stuff. So I'm just gonna have a fun ride, have a good ride, enjoy showing y'all around, and I'll probably ramble and rant on a few different topics here and there. Had a few closings over the past couple months or so, mostly buyers that we're representing currently. If I'm totally honest, past 3-4 years, I've really not focused so much marketing and advertising to sellers because I'll just be real, a lot of sellers aren't ready to price their property accordingly to sell. Past 3-4 years, it's been harder to champion a seller's cause than a buyer's cause. I'll just say it like it is. Past 2-3 years, the majority of cabin listings that are on the market for sale had not been selling in their initial listing duration. Now, there's ways that I could kind of help you make sense of what's going on. I think the easiest way to begin is by highlighting the fact that 2019 to 2020, right before the you-know-what stuff occurred, there was probably 1,500 to low 2,000 count of cabins up here. That boom certainly caused a lot of folks to speculate and purchase, get invested into a lot of builds, and all of a sudden you had mom and pops that have frankly never really built properties before, put on their builder hats, and all of a sudden subcontract the real contract labor, like the concrete folks and the framers and the dirt work guys and the plumbers, and all of a sudden these mom and pops are, self-proclaimed armchair builders. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of sounds like I'm probably talking crap. I'm really not talking crap about the majority of them. Some folks have given, some of these builders had built shoddily, not high quality, not great craftsmanship, and it kind of gave, it's given folks some concern. At that boom time, there really wasn't code enforcement. It's in the process of kind of changing now from 2025 to 2026, where at least within the town limits of Hochatown, there's now going to be enforced code. More on that later, more detail on that later. You could check out hochatown.gov for some information there. But without rambling, from 2020 to 2022, 2023, we pretty quickly doubled the cabin inventory. And just like any market, when you double the inventory and the demand doesn't double alongside, there's going to be some effects on pricing and value, how long it takes to sell, et cetera, et cetera. So here's what I'll say. Punchline is, this is not a place that you want to invest for your first investment property. Probably not your second investment property. This is more of like a feather in the cap 10th investment property. At the very least, probably, third, fourth, fifth, sixth investment property. You're going to be putting the pressure of this one property in and of itself for your entire portfolio to perform. No. I don't recommend putting a majority of one's liquid cash here unless you live here. I don't recommend putting the majority of your debt here if you don't live here and really have your finger on things here. I'm going to keep it real with you. I know the numbers here. I know what's going on with the market here. I live this, eat this, sleep this. This market for the past 4 or 5 years, we are highly in tune with what's going on in the market, super highly in tune. And I don't have any freaking snake oil to sell you. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna probably talk you out of buying up here before I talk you into buying, like I've said before. Man, it's pretty wild to consider that this is January. It's typically a super frigid time of year here, but man, it's super pretty out today. To summarize and conclude what I was referring to before of, I wouldn't come here to invest for your first investment property. The more experience you've had in the past with investment properties, whether it's flipping properties or a long-term rental, all of that's going to obviously benefit your experience here when investing in Broken Bow. What I find for the most part is of all of the folks that are inquiring, the more likely folks to actually come through and pull the trigger and weather the storm and actually enjoy and appreciate owning a cabin up here for some years. They are very mature and seasoned investors, oftentimes substantial portfolios in stocks and bonds and other asset classes, and them buying a $500,000, $1 million, $2 million cabin up here, it's going to blow some folks away. But yeah, it's a very minute piece of their portfolio up here. And that, the more cash, obviously, you purchase with, and the less debt, the less monthly payment, the more likelihood that you're actually going to break even or cash flow or profit on a purchase like this, right? So these are the things that we kind of help folks understand and look through all of this. For example, it was just yesterday I had, several inquiries, one of which a gentleman was looking at a property that it seemed like the owner had initially begun a build for, let's call it a 5-bed, something bad, probably a 5-bed, 4-bath, 3,000 square foot cabin. It was framed up, looked like it was mostly sided and dried in, but it wasn't complete. It was completely bare frame on the inside, no flooring, no interior walls, no interior, nothing, just completely straight, raw, gutted frames. And so it was evident that the owner and seller / builder, who knows if it was builder owned or, customer owned, and, whoever kind of ran into a bind and had a project unfinished, that is not the type of property you want to purchase up here. That is absolutely not someone else's project that they didn't have the foresight on to finish. I'm just telling you, there's umpteen different problems. What I'll tell you is, in the first couple of years of that boom from 2020, 2021, 2022, I had represented a few folks to build up here. And what I'll tell you is, man, that's just an ass whipping. All of these builders will tell you one price and, it'll be, 9 months to a year, and almost unequivocally, it ends up being $100,000, $200,000 more and another year longer. So at this time, when we have an abundance of properties on the market for sale, I just don't recommend building. There's plenty of properties that are turnkey that you will not have to come up here and plan a trip for to manage your build and check in on your contractors and this, that, and the other. The time and energy that takes away from your other endeavors that are, likely bringing you your income anyways, it's just not typically worth it. So here I am just seeing what folks are up to. Folks always enjoying this place here. It's always fun to watch. Man, that lake is smooth as glass. I wish I had a wetsuit and a jet ski handy here in a few months, huh? So anyways, gonna head back to the boat ramp, holler at a buddy real quick, and then from there, head on up to Mena, Arkansas. See if we can cross paths with our good buddy, Mr. Bill Clinton. And what a beautiful January day. Just could not help myself. I was almost ready to come and do this yesterday, but yesterday was actually the last day of antlerless deer season. It snuck up on us real quick. Honestly, I'm not usually completely in tune or aware with the exact dates of the different, gun season for buck and doe, seasons for fishing and bird and stuff like that, so I kind of just roll with my friends and buddies when they want to, go hunt. And obviously we're acquiring the proper tags and licenses and stuff. I just kind of can't keep up with all the dates amongst everything else I got going. So anyways, we're down here at Broken Bow Lake, just running around, seeing what's going on. Let's see here. Wow, last night at the Choctaw Casino and Resort, I might plug in a little bit of the video here from last night. There was this group called the Rockestra that played like rock and hip-hop melody music on their violins and cellos and stuff, and that was super cool. So anyways, here we are pulling down to the marina. Just figured we'd see what's happening. All right, see y'all in a few. All right, just got done saying Happy New Year's, ringing in the New Year's with the Houseboat Homies. So we're gonna head on up to the Talamina Scenic Byway. On the way to Mena. Well, actually, probably stop in Mena, Arkansas. Show you. Oh, who's calling? See who this is here calling.